Everybody, it's Marcia with GratitudeSpeak, where we do life and business coaching to put you in a better frame of mind and emotionally to give you a boost so that you can return to your best productivity and profitability. And today we are talking about just being unafraid or unashamed or not embarrassed to reach out and ask. And what does that mean? Well, last no, I guess weekend before last now, I went to a conference out of town with a major coach, and it was such a wonderful experience. And I learned a lot about myself. And one of the things that was difficult for me to accept, even though I knew it, but to speak it out loud and really kind of embrace it or acknowledge it so that I could move forward and position myself better for me, for you, for clients and whatnot, is I have a problem asking for help. Part of it is, I've bought into the whole I am woman, hear me roar, I'm super, I can handle everything. I can do it better. It's easier or faster if I just do it myself, or if I ask you to do it, I'm going to have to redo it or undo it. And I realized, yes, after all these years, I realized that that's not serving me optimally. And quite frankly, it's not in my best interest or anyone else's. And so if you are even remotely inclined to have that same tendency, I urge you today to just kind of take a deep breath, summon the courage, and just ask. And you know what you'll find more times than not? You will actually discover that people want to help. In some instances, they've been waiting for you to ask, because depending on what kind of vibes or aura you have been emitting, putting off, the energy out there, people don't know when or how or if to approach you. And sometimes, even though I love the whole collaboration idea, it is difficult for me to ask for several reasons. I mean, I was raised to be independent. And the other thing is, sometimes I really feel it can be just this simple, that by the time I try to figure out what it is I'm asking you to do, you're probably more confused the longer I go on with the question. But in the more simple things, especially when you're talking about reaching out to ask people who have expertise, then, hey girl, Nikki. Oh, and Lisa, I didn't see you. Hey, good to see you guys both. We're talking about asking for help. Ooh, this is one of those come to, confession moments. But anyway, I found out recently that a lot of people who I don't know will be just as willing to help me, because the truth is, the further people ascend on their journey of success and notoriety and expertise, the more inclined they are to lend a hand. Now, they're going to wait to be asked, because there's several people or hundreds of people or thousands or whatever the numbers may be that want and need and can benefit from their help and their expertise. But they can't, they don't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I wonder if there's a girl named Marcia who runs a company called GratitudeSpeak that wants my help today. No, it doesn't work like that. We have to go out of our way sometimes, or get out of our own way, even better, to, hey, Sharon, sorry, I just saw you. We have to go out of our own way to get out of our own way, to open our mouths and ask. And it's as difficult for me, if not more, because when you think of somebody that does similar things to what I do, which is counsel people and coach people and advise people, and I've spent years kind of perfecting this persona online and offline, this image that I have bought into myself. Yeah, I actually believe my own hype, that I really didn't need a lot of people. I didn't need a lot of friends. I didn't need a lot of, collaborative partners, loved referral partners, but didn't need a lot of outside resources. And I realized that I was fooling myself. And I'm hoping that that is not the story for many of you. But if it is, first of all, it's still January, so there's plenty of time. If you're one of those people that thinking, it's too late for me to change, it's never too late to change. Trust me. The other thing is, if you're really serious about buckling down, getting back on track, getting on message, staying there, you need to surround yourself and expand your circle. Some of us live in areas that, like I live near enough to Atlanta, Georgia, that I can get there without problems. It's not like, oh, I wouldn't try to walk, but it takes me a couple, 3 hours to get there. But I'd love to have that kind of reach, but I need help to do it because I'm not well connected yet in Atlanta. That is one of my plans, and I'm making progress. But guess what I have to do to position myself for that? Yeah, I've got to ask. All right. And I am. And you know what? People are saying yes. How crazy is that? It's one of those like, duh. You'll hear me say this a lot. I don't watch a lot of TV, but there are some commercials that make an impact. And I feel like I'm on a V8 commercial, like, could have had one. So there you go. Recently, there is a guy whose tribe I'm in on Facebook, and he's an excellent trainer in his niche. And he just put up there, oh my gosh, you guys, a friend of mine is going to do a training on one of the social media platforms that I am holding my own on, but really want to refine and grow. And he says, here's the training. Well, by the time I logged in the next day or that later that evening, I can't remember, I had already missed the broadcast. So I texted my friend and I messaged him and I said, do you think there's going to be a replay? Are you aware if he's going to do it again, or anything? And he says, I don't know. He will more than likely do another training. I don't know how similar it will be to this one, but he's getting married this weekend. And I'm thinking, oh man, I've just missed my opportunity, because the comments that came from the people who were able to catch the training they were all very encouraging. And I was like, doggone it, So I thought, no time like the present. I've acknowledged it. You know what they say, the first step is in acknowledging that there's a problem. So I acknowledge it's like, Marcia, take a deep breath. Open your mouth, ask. In this case, get on your fingers and let your fingers do the talking. And so I messaged the guy. I sent him a friend request, said, hey, I found you in so-and-so's group. Missed your training, saw great reviews. In your plans, will there be another training anytime soon? You know what this guy did? He doesn't know me from Adam's house cat. But because I asked, he said, I'm not going to do one anytime soon, but when I do, I will put you on my mailing list. In the meantime, why don't I just send you the link to the replay? I'm like, woo, yep. You know what? I would have missed that opportunity some time ago. Why? Because I didn't want to reach out and ask. This is a man that has absolutely no connection to me. He owes me no favors. He's getting married this weekend. And he took time out for somebody. Just because I opened my mouth, I reached out my hand. It can be just that simple. Is it always going to be that easy? Probably not. But right now, I'm 1 for 1. So my odds are, 100%. The same is true for you in whatever area of your life and your business you may be reluctant to ask for help. I really don't like it. It puts me in, like, for those of you who know me offline, I got a few control issues to work through. I'm all about admitting it, all right? Because the first step is admitting you have a problem. But when you really take a good hard look at it, all jokes aside, if it is not serving you well, it is not profiting you not only monetarily, but in the community, especially if you are someone like me who advises people, I've had 2 requests this week from people, one I've known for a little while, and one brand new. We happened to be on someone's live stream training, and she connected with me after the training and said, you just have a presence about you. I'd love for you to keep in touch with me. We friended each other, or we friends on Facebook now. And I'd love for you to be my mentor at some point. I've had 2 requests this week to be someone's mentor. That means a tremendous amount, because I'm always like, I don't see myself like that, but I'll take it. But what it says is they have shown me by example that it is okay to ask. It should be, hey, Altavis, good to see you. It should be expected because no one gets all the way up to the top by themselves. No one. Not no real person. I'm not talking about something in a superhero or comic strip or on TV where in 30 or 60 minutes it's all going to be done. In real life, we need to ask. There are collaboration relationships we are missing out on. There are referral partnerships we are missing out on. There are valuable resources we are missing out on because we are too proud, too afraid. We have too much negative chatter in our heads. Because you know what? No one else can hear our negative chatter but us. So if we stop listening to it, we can only serve to improve ourselves. Take the risk, take the leap, stretch your hand out, ask somebody. It's interesting. I watched a girl do a Facebook Live. I want to say it was last night or the night before. She is a sexual abuse survivor. And we're friends on Facebook because, I have thousands of friends on Facebook. But you know how they have that video part where you can just click on? And she said she had wanted to, I guess maybe 3 or 4 years ago, President Obama had declared April Sexual Survivors Awareness Month or something about the cause. And she wanted to write and tell her story. And she had kind of gotten in that negative self-chatter space. And yeah, it is all about the ask, Lisa. Absolutely. The negative self-chatter is what brings us down because nobody else can hear it. And usually it's all in our own minds. It's not something that someone else is pouring in to us. There are times when that's happening, but we can shut those people out. The one that we won't shut out is the one that lives between our ears. But in any event, this girl finally summoned the courage to write a letter to, and I don't care how you feel about, who's in office in any particular time, but she took a leap of faith. She took a chance. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to do this before I just talk myself out of it again for the umpteenth time. She actually wrote a letter thanking him for making that, a real issue in the national scene, and she told her story. And she said it was back in, I guess, November or December. And she almost talked herself out again because she said, he's getting ready to get out of office. He is not going to have time with all the other stuff on his plate to hear me, or his letter probably won't even get, my letter probably won't even get to his desk. But you know what? She was wrong. When she got home, whatever night it was one day this week, because today's Friday, so it might have been Wednesday or last night. Sometimes my days run into each other. She said there was a letter from him thanking her for her story, thanking her for the work that she does, because she actually, a few years ago, started her own agency to help victims that had been through or were going through what she had been a victim of. And he also sent her a copy of the proclamation, or whatever the official, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, she has the piece of paper that has his signature, the seal of the White House, and whatnot on there. And she was so touched. And you know what? She would have missed that moment in history if she had never thought to ask. Now, it may not be something as quote, far-fetched as writing a letter to, the president or a major politician or a celebrity. But just think of my story. I just wrote a Facebook message to someone who's not even connected to me. We're connected now, and since then I've wished him a happy marriage and congratulations and all that. But how gracious was that? But I would have missed the opportunity for that training, which is what I'll be doing this evening, if I hadn't opened my mouth and asked, or if I hadn't put my fingers to work on the keyboard and ask. What is it that you need to ask, that you are holding back from? Who is it that you need to ask something of? What are you missing out on in your business, in your life, in your home, in your community, in your schools, in wherever it is that you are called to serve? What is it that you need that someone else has and you're too proud or too afraid or too set in your ways to not ask for it? Take the chance. You don't have anything to lose. Here's the way I look at it. And this is my year of the ASK. If you need something, and you've seen me use this before and you'll see me use it again. If you need something and you're here and you ask, guess what? If they say no, you are right here. All right, you've lost nothing. If they say yes, hey, Denise, you are here. Or depending on how big the resource is, you may even be here. The thing is, though, you will never be here. Does that make sense? It can be just that simple. And I'm no longer telling you what I've heard or what I've read. I'm telling you what I know. So whether it is something small to review something or help you tweak something or help you flesh something out in your mind, or a major resource. To me, it was like the Twitter thing, excuse me, not Twitter, the social media thing. I'm looking at my Twitter notice on the side. Or the girl who wrote a letter to the White House and the president responded. Whatever it is, please, ma'am, please, sir, open your mouth. Open up your hands. Just do it. Again, you have nothing to lose. You have only to gain. And when you think of it like that, isn't that worth the risk? Isn't that worth taking the chance? Isn't that worth making that moment? And at the least common denominator, the least level, it's off of you. You can stop stressing about it. You can stop worrying about it. You can shut up the negative forces, the negative voices, the negative chatter that's in your head. And it's like, well, it's off me now. I've done what I can do. And you'll be surprised because it will come back to you. I promise you. So I'm saying this to encourage you because this is my year for massive action and the ASK. And yes, for some of you all who like to mess with me after the broadcast and send me messages, yes, I said ASK, not AS, S. And by the way, Nikki Pebbles, this is not special juice, this is tea. But I may have some special juice later on tonight. So I just wanted to pop on as Friday comes. I don't know what your Friday evenings or your early Sundays are like when you get yourself poised for the week. But if there's something on your plate, something on your mind, something on your heart, something on your to-do list that you need help with, figure out who it is that may be in a position. Don't worry about whether they will or won't. Just see if they are in a position in your mind to help you and give an ask. Give your hand out. They're not going to slap it back. They may not take it, but they're not going to just, treat you like a gnat or a pesky mosquito. And even if they do, you haven't lost anything. You just know not to bother with them anymore. So altogether, it's a win-win. So, yeah, Denise, fear of the no is very real, but you know what? Let me tell you a quick story since you put that on there, and thank you for that. Especially in sales, and we're all in some kind of sales, you can get a little jar, and I don't know if you want to put pennies in it for Mr. Grandbaby, or if you want to put like a special treat like M&Ms or peppermints or whatever, and every time you get a no, put one in there, and then in the jar, and let it fill up, or a cup, or whatever it is. And when you get your yes, in whatever form that takes, you get to spend that money or invest that money, or you get to eat that treat or whatever it is. That's how you get rid of the failure of no. You start to eat them. You start to want to collect them because each one gets you closer to a yes. And you get a little treat, you get a little reward at the end, because you know when you've gotten a certain amount of them, because no is just as much a word as yes. And no doesn't always mean no permanently. It just means not now. So, oh, I'm glad that helped you. So, we all fear it. Heck, people tell me no all the time. It's okay. I don't need any more treats. But, it's part of the process. So I'm glad that was helpful. That is my goal every week, to pour into you, and I will need your help. You'll see the book me link. If you or someone that you are close to or know of in business that may be struggling, particularly in the sales profession, that they want to enhance relationships for more revenue, let them use that link. Encourage them to use that link and have a call on me. And I will see if I can support them. And if not, I'll tell them, this is not my wheelhouse, but I have other people I can refer. You know why I got referral partners? You know how I got people to refer stuff out to? Because I'm real clear about what is my wheelhouse and what is not. And then I've asked for those relationships. So it all comes back full circle. So for those of you who would love to get more resources business-wise, tune in to the bit.ly link on Mondays at 9 p.m. This week we are having, or I guess it's actually technically next week, this coming Monday, we are having a wonderful woman out of California who deals with women and their finances, preparing for all of the D's. And please, I should know the 5 D's. I know it's divorce, disability, disaster, depression, and there's another D that I'm forgetting. But you can look on my page in about 30 minutes when I start the promos, and I'd love to have you there. So bring questions, share the link, share this video, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And remember, there's always an opportunity and a reason to show kindness and give gratitude. So make it your mission today to do just that. Bye.